Hi, everybody. Eve Hara, Rejuvenation on the Land of Israel Network. Today is January 11th, 2021. We were so looking forward to 2021, but I'm not so much sure how much better it is so far than 2020. Let's give it another few months. And of course, the 27th day of Tebet, 5781. Hope everyone who's listening is well and that the world is moving into a slightly better place. I'm not going to talk about politics and that's that. And I'm so honored, though, to have with me today Bat Galim Sha'er. I read about a new initiative that she and her husband Ophir started just about a week ago, so this is hot off the press. Bat Galim, thank you so much for joining me today on Rejuvenation.
Hi, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the new initiative that you got going this week.
Yes, we launched it just last week. It's a new initiative. The main goal is to make connections between Jews in Israel and in the diaspora. So unfortunately, 6.5 years ago, when my son, one of the three boys, was kidnapped, we felt tremendous support from Jews from all over the world. And we realized how important it is to maintain these connections in the day-to-day routine of normal times. So we kept in touch with many of people who came to comfort and support us over the years. And we have a lot of projects that trying to maintain these connections. And this special project, we call it Happy Birthday to You. We created a platform to create a meaningful connections between Jews in Israel by connecting them by the Hebrew birthday. And the information will be publicized in 5 languages, Hebrew, English, Spanish, French, and Russia, to reach a maximum audience. And of course, all the information is kept secure on the platform and it's not shared with anyone else.
So somebody comes into your website, they put in their name and usually what we call their English birthday, or really according to the Christian calendar, and then you send them back what their Hebrew birthday is?
Yes, it's very easy. It's very easy and it's very fun and a happy project. You just have to input your name, email address, and the birthday, and you will receive your Hebrew birthday and the name of someone who shares it. And then you can be in contact with, to celebrate together, and the sky is the limit. Once you establish this connection, you can develop it, and you don't have to wait to the birthday. You can start the connection online.
So just to remind my listeners, what Bat Galim, which is a beautiful name, by the way, for those of you who don't speak Hebrew, it means the daughter of the waves.
Yes, it's an unusual name also in Israel. So
it is. What, did your mother just read The Little Mermaid or something? When she
maybe.
It's really a beautiful name, though. It's a very calming name, like the beach, the water, everything, the sea. It's very beautiful. For those of you who do not remember what we're speaking about or haven't made the connection, so in June of 2014, not just Israel, but I think a good part of the world spent 18 days praying for 3 boys who had been kidnapped by terrorists here in Israel, Bat Galim's son, Gil'ad, Naftali Frankel, and Ayal Yifrach. And during those 18 days, which are 18 days that I think are seared into everybody's mind here. I remember walking around, everyone would walk on the sidewalk, and if you saw somebody, the first thing you said to them was, have you heard anything yet? And everybody knew right away what you were talking about. There was nothing else on anyone's mind. And of course, the tragedy, we were at a wedding when we found out that the boys' bodies had been found. But what happened during those 18 days is that it was the mothers of the boys who became very much the faces and the voices of what was happening here in Israel. And with all the grief and all the concern, the main message that was coming out was not anger and not revenge, but unity, faith, hope, and really a very positive message in a time where anyone could be excused for giving the exact opposite. in such an awful, intense time. The three of you, just to go back for those few years, did you ever have a discussion about that? Was it just kind of, as they say in Hebrew, muvan me'alav? It was just kind of the natural thing. You didn't know each other before, I believe, right? The three of you, and here you are in these horrific circumstances. How did that happen? And it was I assume it was a choice that was made, that was going to be the tenor and the message that was given out during those nearly 3 weeks.
Yes, I think it's really amazing the fact that the three of us felt the same feeling. I think it was like a mirror. We felt so much strength and a huge embrace and the tremendous mutual responsibility of all the people, all the Jews around the world, and it gave us a lot of strength. And it was like a mirror, maybe, that we felt the strength, so we gave it back to the other people. And it's really amazed me also the fact that each of us felt the same feeling, and it's just came spontaneously together, and we never talked about it. It was obviously for us, and I think we felt it so strong in our hearts, all this mutual responsibility and all this the care, the fact that the Jews care about each other. It's really strong, and it gave us a lot of strength those days.
And you've continued through. It's not like you took a break for 6 years.
Yes, we try to continue because I think that if you understand that we can be in this special place, so we must to continue these connections in the day-to-day routine of normal times. So it's very meaningful, all the unity and all the mutual responsibility. I think it's very meaningful thing. So I try to continue it in the day-to-day. Our family founded the Sunshine organization, and our main goal in Sunshine is to make the world more optimistic and to show more mutual responsibility. And we are trying to do a very small but very meaningful thing like this project. It's very simple. It's very nice, and you just need 2 minutes to write your name and your address, and you got a new friend. And I think if we will got 1,000 of Jews in this project, all the conversation between the Jews in Israel and the diaspora will change. And it's almost 1 week from the beginning of the project, and we almost have 6,000 registers. And it's amazing fact because we have 1,000 connections, and it's just the beginning. I hope that there will be more and more registers.
Well, after this podcast, definitely. So.
Absolutely.
For sure. And it was launched on Gil'ad's birthday. Is that?
Yes. We
Yeah.
launched this last week on Gil'ad's birthday. He would have been 23 on this birthday. And Gil'ad was a very happy boy. He loved birthdays, and he knew all the date of the birthday of all his friends, and he would always bake them a cake and make a party. And I think that he understands that everyone wants to feel special on their birthday and wants to be remembered. So Gil'ad know how to combine joy and seriousness, and he was a much loved leader in Bnei Akiva and was very sensitive to the needs of others. So we felt this was a very good way to share his legacy and to remember him.
It sounds perfect for who he was and who he continues to be through all of you. You published a book called Expecting My Child. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's in Hebrew, we call it Ma Yeled Yom. We don't know what days will bring. And in English, I called it Expecting My Child, because I really missed him and I really think about him a lot. And the book, it's a very, we have a lot of pain, but it's very important to me to share that the book is very, after you read the book, you got strength, because I share here the stories of all Am Israel, of all our community, the good deeds that we felt in those days. And I think that after you read this book, you feel proud to be a part of the Jewish nation. And a lot of people are deal with a lot of situations, and we don't choose the situation, but we can choose how to deal with the situation. And maybe people can read, and maybe they can make the connection to themselves first, and to the community also.
Mm-hmm. I think what we're seeing, especially in these days of people being separated from each other because of the concern of getting sick, how badly people need community, family, but of course extended community as well. You know, I remember during those 18 days, speaking to reporters who of course were following all of you around all the time. And you live in Talmon, which is a beautiful community in Western Binyamin. There's a story that I'll digress for a second, because there's a story that I've told about the rabbi of your community, who's now the rabbi of the police, right? Of the Israel police. What is his name again? I have a blank on his name. Binyamin, it's with a hey. Anyway, senior moment.
Okay.
So there's a story that's told about him, that there were a group of Israeli bikers, like the big guys on the motorcycles, who travel around on Shabbat, which in Israel is really the only day off that we have. And Talmon is on the main road. So to continue on the main road, you really have to go through Talmon, but it's a Shomer Shabbat. It's a community that keeps Shabbat. Usually the gate is closed on Shabbat. So they asked for permission one Shabbat to be able to drive through. And not only were they given permission, but people were waiting for them when they came, and made Shabbat with them and gave them something to eat. Am I getting the story right?
Kiddush with them, make Kiddush, it was very special, yes.
Not too much whiskey, they were driving, but just to, instead of just kind of turning away and saying, fine, 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 drive, welcomed them into your community and made a Shabbat with them and made them feel like Kol Yisrael Ehavim, all Jews are united from wherever we come from and our differences of opinion. This wasn't like a begrudging fine come through our community, but a real welcome. And I thought was that, and some of my listeners have probably heard me tell this story before, because it just seared itself onto me as an example of what Talmon is. And when I was speaking to journalists, many of whom had never been to a settlement, many of the journalists, many of the press in Israel, as we have around the world, are what they call left wing and against Jews living in Yehuda v'Shomron. And here they found themselves outside your house in Talmon, which, you know, right in the middle of Binyamin, being treated like family. Came in to eat, used the bathroom, camp on the lawn. Must have been a whole big mess and the last thing that you needed, but never felt like they were intruding. And you know, they say that there's times you can judge people by how they are in certain situations, when they're angry, right? When they have to deal with money. There's different places where you can't fake it because you're all too emotional. Nobody was faking it during those 18 days. And what they saw from your family and from Talmon resonated with them. I don't know if you even realize the impact that it had on people who were not primed to be sympathetic, and they were sorry for the situation, but who suddenly came away with also who Gil'ad was, where he had been raised, the kind of Israelis that are coming out of your community, which only really bring honor and joy to our people. And that's rarely spoken about. And that wasn't the topic of any either. But I think I don't know if you know that your behavior then went far beyond what the news was at the time. And I wanted to share that with you because I heard it from people that I wouldn't have expected to tell me that. And and so I think that this initiative that you have now, and what you have been doing all these years, unity, all kinds of different programs for unity, are probably way beyond what you know, and have affected people. And a lot of people speak about unity, especially these days, especially in the diaspora, especially, let's say, the United States, which is going through such a difficult time. But sometimes it means more like conformity, that everybody should be the same. But that's not what you're saying. We can be all different and feel differently, think differently, have different levels of belief and political opinions. That doesn't mean that we can't feel the strength of togetherness and optimism. And that's a voice that is so important. So, I mean, what you've done is take your personal tragedy and help so many people beyond that, which at least for me means like Gil'ad and Naftali and Yal, they're never really gone if this is what their families are doing in their memories. And it's just an amazing thing to me. And I know that I'm not the only, I'm speaking now for a lot of people who have been affected over the years. And I think this is beautiful with the Hebrew birthday, because so often people don't know that there's, I mean, there's another calendar, and some of our holidays go by that calendar. But beyond that, the meaning of the Hebrew date on which you were born is very, very special, and a beautiful initiative. Did you have it? Were you thinking about it for a while? You know, how did this pop into your mind, this particular idea?
So we have 1 year ago, we have a very nice competition in Sunshine Organization. And we ask people to give us an idea to make connection between Jews here in the diaspora. And this was one of the finalist ideas. And I think another thing is very special in this project, that's in this very hard time that we have to stay at home and to be in the lockdown. So people understanding that they can and have a connection not only with people who are living in their city. They can have a connection also by Zoom or by internet with people who are living far away. And this is very special and very good time to make a new connections between the people.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a list of, like, you know, famous people who were born on like certain days? There must be somewhere. I know on the internet everything is available.
Yes, but we ask some celebs to join to our special initiative, and every week you will find a new one. So it's a promise, it's a surprise, yes.
That's great.
So,
you could have the same birthday as, I don't know, Barbara Streisand or something.
Maybe. So we have a Einat Saruf, so maybe some of the people heard about it. So Einat Saruf, you can see her birthday on our website, on Happy Birthday to You, or maybe on Sunshine website. And you will find another celebs. Okay.
Okay, the best birthday present.
Something to accept, יש למה לצפות. We have something
to look forward to. So the best birthday present that I ever got was a granddaughter, which took quite a bit of planning on the part of my daughter, way months in advance. So I share a birthday with her. So that's, yeah, which is coming up rapidly.
I think that when we meet someone that was born in our same date, it's something very emotional. It's very exciting because we believe that we was born in some very special day, some very special period. So I think that when we met someone that is in our same birthday, it's really make us to feel exciting. So I hope this initiative will make the right connections between people.
And it'd be interesting to see if they have, let's say, the same personality traits, because, You know, they say that Judaism doesn't believe in astrology in the sense of we check our horoscopes every morning and this is what's going to happen. But there is an idea that Hashem, there are certain personality traits that you are going to need during your life that Hashem puts into you. You're going to need to be stubborn. It's hard to deal with this when we have stubborn children, but there's something that's going to happen in their lives that's going to need them to have that trait. What they do with it, of course, is up to them. And that so Hashem makes sure that your neshama, that your soul is born into a time where that's the dominant trait. So he's still in control. It doesn't just happen. It's not fate. So it would be interesting to see. Maybe you have a master's degree in education, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it might be interesting.
I am currently the director of the Zionist Archives. It's a new job, and it's really exciting me. But I came from the education. Yes, of course.
Right. So it'd be interesting to see if people find that, you know, that they're connected in more than one way. It could bring a lot of things together. Okay, Bat Galim, do you have any other plans? Any other ideas? Can you share? Is it still a secret?
I have, but I can't share.
Okay. Don't have to have you back.
Without Hashem, you will heard when everything will be ready.
And I just want to compliment you. I heard you a few years ago. Your English is fantastic now. And
wow, thank you so much. I'm working very hard for this, and it's really compliment. It's very good compliment for me. Thank you.
No, it's not easy, but really that's the language of that mainly that people speak in the diaspora, at least most of it. And I think in order to make connections, you worked hard to
the truth is when everything happened 6.5 years ago, I realized and understand that if I want to be in touch and to be connection between the Jews in the diaspora, I just need English. So I just sit and learned, and it's very hard for me, but I do it.
Yeah, it's a difficult language to learn. But I know from people whom you met, friends of mine and people that now know you in the United States and in Canada and in Australia, the circumstances are not how they would have liked to meet you, but how much you've enriched their lives and that you've gone out to speak in different communities. Of course, the last few months you haven't been able to do that, but hopefully in the near future.
We will return and come back soon.
Yeah, because Zoom is good and all this, and thankfully we have the ability to connect with you. And I are both in the same country. There are people who are watching, listening to this from all parts of the world. And that's an incredible thing that we can communicate with people, even though we're far, but there's still nothing like being in the same room with someone, seeing their body language, you know, even giving them a hug. Remember hugs?
To feel the hug.
To feel the hug, exactly. And so hopefully those days will come back soon, and we can make up for some of the time and learn the lessons of this year, and you know, make the best of it, and connect, as you said, connect with.
Yes, so maybe we can share the website.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
So you want to spell it out for me?
Okay, it's mazeltov.world. Exactly how you heard.
M-A-Z-A-L, 2 A's. Okay.
Yes. .world.
.word.
Yes.
.org.
No, enough. It's enough. Mazeltov.world. Okay. Easy to remember also.
Beautiful. Okay, everyone. So get in there and put in your information, and let's see who you share Hebrew birthday with. And also just the other things that Bat Galim has done over the years, her book, Expecting My Child.
You can find it on Amazon.
We all have reasons that can push us over, things that stress us, even that wouldn't necessarily stress anyone else. And this is not a competition. There's things that I find easy that other people find devastating. And there's things that I think are going to completely break me that other people, you know, are able to cope with. And so we all have our personal baggage and our personal strengths and weaknesses. And I think that your book really speaks to that, what you can learn out of it, the optimistic side of things, and what you can take out of it. Because it for most of us anyway, is a choice. What we do with our grief, what we do with our pain, If we, can look on the positive and try and do that as you have, then there's a better tomorrow. And so thank you for all that contribution that you have given to the Jewish world and also to the non-Jewish world. There's many people who look towards Israel, who look towards your family, and gain a lot of strength and learn from that, of how we can deal with terribly difficult situations. So Bat Galim Shire, thank you so much for joining me today on Rejuvenation. And thank you everyone for listening. I got my first vaccine 2 weeks ago, getting the next one next week. And so far no tail or anything strange like that, and just hoping really for health and for everyone to be healthy and to come back to a healthy place and learn whatever it is we were supposed to learn from this really awful year. So thanks to Ben and to Tabitha for helping me put this out. Eat Hero Rejuvenation on the Land of Israel Network. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.